So what if you could talk a little old Route 66 town into shutting down their streets to make way for a Mopar muscle car takeover? Impossible, you say? Well, that's exactly what happened here. This is Robert Wolf reporting from the center of the Mopar world for May of 2023, Bristow, Oklahoma. In some ways, Bristow, Oklahoma is what you'd think of as a stereotypical old Route 66 town. But in other ways, it seems to be more progressive than many of the other Route 66 towns that I've traveled through. Bristow is interested in economic development, and that shows by the historic buildings in and around the town that have been saved from decay. Some house small businesses like body and coffee shops, and others are there to preserve the town's history. The story of how a gaggle of Mopar enthusiasts ended up descending on this town really begins here at the old train station. We stumbled in here today to meet with Joe at the Bristow Historical Society. Now, is that something that's been around for a while, or is this new?
The Historical Society was formed in 1988.
Okay. And what's your mission statement?
Well, the mission statement was to save this building we're in. This is a 1924 train depot that was scheduled for demolition. And so that was the mission statement then.
Now, when was the last train that ran out of here?
It was in 1976.
Passenger train?
No, that was freight.
Okay.
The last one was freight. The last passenger train was in 1967.
And what happened to the depot after that? It just fell in disrepair?
Yeah, people were vandalizing it, and it was actually scheduled for demolition by Burlington Northern.
So you basically put it together as a mini museum for the town. From what I can see, you've got a lot of neat stuff in here. So
yep.
That's kind of what it's evolved into?
Yes.
And people can come here anytime and come see it?
They can come see it anytime.
Okay.
Here comes someone right now.
So the reason we're here today, the Mopar guys are here, is for the sign that's behind you here. So this went up at a Chrysler dealership right down the road in Bristow. How did this come to be?
Well, the guy that started the car dealership, the Chrysler Plymouth car dealership. His name was Red Beard, and he started the dealership in 1947, and he had big ideas, and so he wanted to put that sign there. The sign itself is shaped like an oil derrick, and he had that put together here. A local welder put it together and welded it all together, and they had to get big boom trucks to lift it into place when they put it in place in 1949.
Now it's a couple blocks off of the Main Street. Now was Main Street Route 66 in the day?
Yes.
So that went right through the center of town.
Main Street is Route 66.
And when did the highway system come into play that kind of took that out of play?
1953 is when the toll road opened between Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and that took the cars off Route 66 and took the business away from Red Beard's Motor Company.
Okay. So he died in a plane crash, is that correct?
He died in a plane crash in October of 1951.
Okay.
And he had a partner in his business. The partner kept the dealership going for 7 years after that. But in 1958, the car dealership closed down, and then a body shop was in there for about a year. And then in 1959, the building became a bowling alley.
Okay. And now it belongs to someone in the oil business? Or?
Crewme Oil bought the building in 1974. And they bought it then, and they're still there.
So from what I understand, the idea is to take this sign now and move it closer to the old Route 66 corner up front. Whose idea was that?
I think it was mine.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful sign, and what a landmark for the city to get it moved up there.
Yeah.
So, what is the timeline on getting that done?
So we bought that property, which is on a corner of Main Street, about a week ago.
Okay.
And so I talked to Jay Crewme, the president of the oil company now, and told him about it. And he was gone this week, but he and I are going to get together next week and start talking about next steps.
So he's on board with everything?
He is on board with everything. Yes.
Okay.
He's actually donating the sign to us.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So and then once we get it moved, we still have all the work to get it, you know, repainted,
right,
repaired.
So it's a multi-year project.
Yeah, we got to get the neon lights on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I've heard some rumors of the goal is maybe for an anniversary for Route 66 coming up. Is there a big anniversary coming up soon?
Yes, Route 66 will be 100 years old in 2026.
Okay, so that's kind of a loose goal to try to have it done by that point.
100 years. The state is looking at this, and the Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma, who I've met with a couple of times in the past 3 months, they are looking to put together a centennial celebration. And the Lieutenant Governor is the chairperson of the committee that's doing that. So, and they're also making some funds available to the towns on Route 66 to make it get ready for the party.
Right. Now, the reason that we Mopar guys are here is to help with the fundraiser on this. And what I understand that you're doing now is selling bricks that will be put in the base area around where you're moving this to. Is that correct?
We're going to put bricks there. We're also hoping to sell enough bricks to build a wall behind the tower so that people want to come and take a picture of their car. It will be pretty much stationed, and there's an alley behind it.
Right.
And we want to block off the alley so there's a good photo pop.
So people will be able to drive their car kind of around it in a
That's our plan,
right?
To come drive around it and park in front of it, take a picture, and then drive off.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
what we're planning on doing.
So as far as these bricks go, how do people find you? How do they purchase these bricks, and what price are they?
Well, they find us at www.bristowhistory.org, and there is a link there to buy a brick. We're also selling canvas signs, wall art that have the Chrysler Tower in it, and so you can buy those there also. The bricks themselves, a regular 4-inch by 8-inch brick in a standard placement is going to be $100. The premium placement bricks are going to be placed in the Chrysler Pentagon logo shape.
So it'll be a pentastar where it sits down on it. Yes.
Pentastar where it sits down on it, and those are premium placement bricks. So those will be $200 for the 4-inch by 8-inch brick. And there's also an 8-inch by 8-inch option where a logo can be etched into the brick, or put on the brick, and those are $500.
Okay. And those are available now from you guys?
They are available now.
Okay. Have you sold any of them yet, or are you just getting started?
We're kind of just getting started. I think we've sold maybe 20 or 25.
Well, hopefully our guys that come in for the car show can help you out and get that stuff moving.
Yeah.
And if you want to help move this tower, I think if you're a Mopar guy, there's no better cause than to save this thing and get it on Route 66, because it's going to be quite the icon when it gets moved. So I thank you for the dedication to saving this history, because it means a lot to us.
Well, I joined the Historical Society as a volunteer to help down here, and you kind of fall in love with this stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a responsibility.
Yeah, so wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
So this kind of happened by like a happy accident, really. You just wanted to come see the tower.
Enter Doug Cataline. Returning from the Mocan Mopar show in Missouri, him and some of his buddies decided to take a detour to look for the historic Chrysler Plymouth Route 66 sign. He just so happened to stop and ask for directions from a random person who just so happened to be with the Bristow Historic Society. After hearing of how they wanted to restore, relocate, and relight the big sign, a light bulb went off in his head. Why not move the 2-year-old Southern Plains Mopar show from Noble, Oklahoma to Bristow, Oklahoma to support this effort? After taking this idea back to his partner Matt Hindy and meeting with the town fathers, a plan was conceived to turn the town of Bristow into something akin to what Sturgis is to bikers for the Mopar faithful. It's not easy to convince a town to shut down their main street for a car gathering. So to make this happen, the Southern Plains Mopar show's dates were moved to May 12th and 13th to correspond with the town's annual Sunflower 5K run and Tabbouleh Festival. What the hell is a Tabbouleh Festival, you ask? Well, that's the very same question I had. Tabbouleh Fest is a big thing here, correct?
Well, we initiated the Tabbouleh Fest to coincide with the Wildflower Run.
Okay.
As a way of honoring our Lebanese heritage.
Okay.
A lot of the founders in Bristow originated moved here from the old country.
Okay.
And became merchants and opened stores and etc.
And tabbouleh is a staple food for them?
Well, it is. It's a Middle Eastern. Greek have
Okay.
a lot of tabbouleh. A lot of the Middle Eastern people have tabbouleh. So
Okay, so it looks like this, which is basically a salad?
it's a wheat-based salad.
Okay.
We have 3 different kinds in here.
Okay, what's the difference?
Well, this one's made from the package of original wheat and all fresh vegetables, and
Okay.
this one starts with dehydrated onion, the wheat, dehydrated onions, and dehydrated parsley.
Okay.
And different people like different stuff, so
And what do you put on it for a salad dressing?
it doesn't. It has the lemon juice and oil.
Everything's done?
Yeah, it's kind of like the package directions there.
Okay.
And Bristow had 2 of the major producers of packaged tabbouleh wheat.
Do
They
they-
ship all over the U.S.
And they still produce here?
Yes, right, a block up.
Bishop Brothers?
Bishop Brothers.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, and Bishop Brothers has sold out, but you basically just add two cups of water. It says cold water, but I'll give you a little helpful hint.
Okay.
If you'll put lukewarm water and let it soak up, and then when you add your lemon juice and oil, it'll stay on the outside of the wheat where it adds to the flavor instead of being soaked up and having no flavor.
All right. Well, thank you for the education. We're definitely going to come back and get some of this. Where can they find it during the year when they're not here?
A lot of the stores, Walmart
Does Bishop
carries
Brothers sell it directly, or?
it. Yeah, they sell it. The packet, they sell 3 different kinds.
Okay.
He said Trader Joe's has some.
Okay.
I've been in
Sun City, Arizona.
Okay.
I was in California in Albertsons one time and got some steakhouse tabbouleh wheat. So.
All right. We're going to come back and get some from y'all.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It almost tastes like coleslaw almost. That's what I said. Nacho cheese Doritos and tabbouleh. Is that a winner, Rick? This first year's event in Bristow was seriously handicapped because of the weather. I think there was something like 11 tornadoes reported in and around the area the night before the show, which I don't have to tell you kept a lot of out-of-towners away. Even with that being said, the Southern Plains guys definitely planted a flag for an event that has tremendous potential going into the future. Well, this wasn't a record-breaking show. There were a lot of really cool cars to check out. Like this one, an ultra-rare Hemi sunroof Super Bee that MCG readers will remember from being featured many years back. This gentleman here brought a pretty special Charger. Not only is it a black Charger, but with a maroon red interior. Super, super, super rare, but... What's your name, sir?
I'm Gary Ivy.
Gary, beautiful piece.
Inside here, of course, that's Dukes of Hazzard. You won't see this has still got the original Jude backing in it,
Okay.
and it's still got the original carpet in the
All
back.
throughout the car?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all throughout the car.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
That's
kick that
fine.
off.
That's just fine.
Yep.
But you won't find anything with this kind of backing in it,
Yeah.
like that.
Yep. How many miles are on this car?
47,800 miles.
Oh, nice. That is cool. That is cool.
47,800.
Reminds me of the Marlin, right?
You're very similar, yeah.
Hold it down one of the seats to make sure that you know it's not that way.
How long you had it?
I've had it a year.
Okay. Where'd you find it?
Miami.
Okay.
Bought it from an older
That's in
couple.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, I bought it from an older couple. They were in there probably like 85, 86. And the wife just went to a memory care facility and had parked in their garage for like 6 years.
The moonroof still works?
Works great. I was just gonna open it up.
Hudson, this is a unique piece. Plymouth body, Dodge truck. Tell me a little bit about this setup you got.
33 Plymouth Coupe,
Mhm.
which is on a custom frame. It's got a 340 and it's a track car. And as you can see, you're in the passenger seat and the engine is in the driver's seat.
Now, is it strictly a show car, or have you done any track time on this thing?
I've got a little track that I like to run on in Beggs, Oklahoma,
Mhm.
just west on 16.
Looks like it's pretty clean. It must be fresh, huh?
I've had it on the track twice,
Okay.
but I don't race. I just kinda
having
hot
fun.
lap for fun.
So tell me about the truck.
That's a 65 Dodge C500
Mm-hmm.
with an aluminum rollback on it. It's got a poly 318 wedge in there that just purrs like a time machine.
This Plymouth had a really cool story. The owner found an original aluminum hood and decided to build a whole car around it. To make things even more complicated, he converted a 4-door body into this 2-door you see here.
It's a universal harness bar that I fabricated. I did all the fabrication work myself.
Okay.
And I wanted something that could be easily removable, so my daughter could ride in the back seat.
Right.
So if we went out for ice cream with the family or whatever, I could take it in and out. And I also hobby raced the car. I drag raced it a little bit. I do autocross with it a little bit. So I wanted some 4-point shoulder harnesses. So anyway, I came up with this idea. You know, I kind of copied it from what they do with the modern cars.
Right.
But I made it fit this.
So basically, what you're going into is the
So
seatbelt.
this is actual DOM tubing. The down bars or the down tubes are DOM tubing, and they're going into the factory seatbelt mounts for the latch belts. And then what I did is I fabricated those plates, and they've got welding bungs in there that I welded on there. I drilled a hole through the B pillar.
Right.
And then had them TIG welded into the B pillar, so you can just unbolt it, just take it in and out. It takes about 2 minutes.
That's a cool piece, man. I love it.
Anyway, cool.
How's the 6-cylinder run in it?
It's run good. It's it's been modified a little bit. Instead of 7.5 to 1 compression, this is about 9 to 1 compression. Offenhauser 4-barrel intake, 390 Holley, Clifford headers, GM-HEI ignition. And the cylinder head has been shaved 80 thou and has big Ford 306 valves that have been cut down.
What kind of cam are you running in it?
It's just stock cam. The bottom end is all stock. It's just the top end's been worked with a little bit. So it's making about, stock horsepower was 145, somewhere around there. And this is just right around 200.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a fun car.
It's a light car, so.
It weighs about 2,600 pounds.
Yeah.
Firm feel suspension, Willwood disc brakes. It's original paint.
Thanks for showing us around. So you got to tell me about the stereo system, because I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah,
so,
it's
well,
yeah, good to see you too. Yeah, we'll see you around. Yeah.
So what's your name?
Yeah, Warren King.
Warren Robert Wolf, Mopar TV.
Yeah, well, good to be here in Bristow.
I've seen a lot of Mopars. I've never seen that many amps in one car. So,
yeah.
So
well,
what happened there?
It is a little unusual for the old Mopars like that, or old cars in general. Yeah. It started out with, it has the stock AM radio, 5-watt AM radio, Music Master R11 code, and I thought, well, I'm gonna, and it still works actually, and I thought I'm gonna upgrade it just a little bit. And I was interested in sound systems and that when I was in high school and college. So I got the car and I just put a little upgrade in it. Well, it kind of just went from there, and after about 2 years or so, it's kind of ended up
so
with that.
Was this done in the 80s, or when was this done?
I did this. I got the car in 2015, and probably somewhere 2016, 17, 18, I installed the whole sound system. Yeah, so no, it's fairly new.
Fairly new.
Since I've owned it.
Walk me around it. Tell me what it does.
Well.
So obviously you got a couple subs in the back.
Yeah, there's yeah, we can bring the trunk up here more. Yeah, here's the subwoofers, which for any sound system, car sound system, the woofers are paramount, But I actually just went with a little bit smaller woofers. Then 8-inch Rockford Punch series there, and then there's a 6.5-inch DB Drive woofer.
Okay.
And then this was the first one I installed, and that one's also a 8-inch Rockford Fosgate. Okay. So the 3 woofers, and then a bunch of amps.
So all these amps are running the subs, or what are these running?
So yeah, these amps run the subs and the 5.5-inch and 2 1-inch dome tweeters. Most of the mid and high speakers I have are 5 1/4 inch.
So show me what you got inside.
Coaxial speakers. So, and I tried to hide them the best I could. Yeah, go ahead. This door is a little trick. You can see kind of. I made little boxes for them.
Okay.
Yeah, and some Rockford line drivers. which actually I had a hard time finding those line drivers. Those came from Britain, of all things, off eBay. But anyway, yeah, you can see the little 5 1/4 inch coaxials there.
Yeah.
A couple of them right there. There's, I forget the exact count. I think there's about 18 I have in the car.
You got
18
tucked away in all the corners?
Yeah, yep, 2 there on each side.
Right.
There's 2 under the seat.
Okay.
I got the dome tweeters under the stock, under the stock speaker.
And you running EQs right here?
Yeah, 2 EQs, one for mids and highs, and then the bottom one is for the woofers. And then the head unit is actually that right with the gauge cluster.
Right.
I thought kind of looked good mixed in with the gauge cluster. A friend of mine at work gave me that idea.
Yeah.
It's actually for a boat, that JBL head unit. But I put it in there, and anyway, that works pretty good.
It's a unique piece.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a unique piece.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
I've never seen another one like it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
It took me a while, but yeah, I'm gonna fire it up here in a little bit. Get the music going a little.
Thanks for the walkthrough.
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Have a good day. Yeah.
Shutting down Old Route 66 for a car show is one thing, but what the Southern Plains guys did was one-up that by pulling off something that, to my knowledge, has never been done before. Shut down Route 66 for street racing. Now, this first year in Bristow wasn't the biggest Mopar show I've ever been to, but there's no doubt these guys have set the stage for something that could be very special in years to come. Well, where'd you get a Wallaby from?
Well, I played a show for a bike fest, and the owner gave them to me as a gift. They said, "It's the best band we've ever had. We love you, and here's a Wallaby."
What's the name of the band?
It's CJ Garton.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm CJ.
All right.
Yeah,
Robert?
CJ Garton and Skeleton Crew, brother.
Okay, man. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good. I grew up here. We got a G-Bar Ranch, and so I'm based out of here in Nashville now. And
first show I've ever been to and seen a Wallaby. That's a true statement there. They make good pets?
Yeah, this is Russell. I've had him about a week now, and he's been my little road buddy. He's been to the shows. We played shows and festivals. We was up there and did the bluegrass, or not bluegrass, the Red Dirt Festival, Stillwater. And there's probably 5,000 people there, and I probably made about 150 feet in about 3 hours. CJ graciously gave us his band, the Skeleton Crew's latest CD, and after checking it out on the way home, I can say if you're into true old school country, you'll love this one. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more like this one, smash the subscribe to Mopar TV button. It's absolutely free. So CJ, play us on out of here. This has been Robert Wolf reporting, and until next month, I'll see you on the pages of MCG.
I got a 6-string and a bottle of whiskey, you know where to go.